Melchizedek is an enigmatic figure whose name echoes throughout history, theology, and mysticism, a beacon of mystery and wonder. His name, meaning King of Righteousness, conjures up images of an ancient world in which the sacred and the profane intertwine. Who is this man in Judaism, Christianity, and even esoteric traditions? Who was this priest king who appeared on the stage of history for only a moment and left behind a legacy that lasted thousands of years? Melchizedek makes his first and most famous appearance in the book of Genesis. Abram, not yet named Abraham, emerges victorious from the war, rescuing his nephew Lot and reclaiming the stolen goods. As Abram returns, a figure enters the narrative: Melchizedek, king of Salem and priest of the Most High God. In a gesture that is both kingly and priestly, Melchizedek brings out bread and wine, offering a blessing to Abram and to the God of heaven and earth. In this brief moment, Melchizedek establishes himself as a figure of profound significance. He is both king and priest, a dual role that overturns the norms of the ancient world. Kings ruled with power, priests governed with the sacred. But here stands Melchizedek, transcending the ordinary boundaries of authority and spirituality. And then, as suddenly as he appeared, he disappears. The narrative gives no account of his genealogy, origin, or death. Having no father or mother, having no genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, as the letter to the Hebrews later reflects, he remains a priest forever, in the likeness of the Son of God. The name Salem, often associated with Jerusalem, deepens the mystery. Salem means peace, and Melchizedek is its king. In a world full of conflict and conquest, what does it mean to reign over peace? Is Salem simply a city, or does it symbolize a higher realm, an archetype of divine order and tranquility? The bread and wine offered by Melchizedek resonate far beyond their humble appearance. For Christian tradition, these elements anticipate the Eucharist, the meal of Holy Communion. For others, they represent the nourishment of life itself, the mystical union of body and soul. In this simple act, Melchizedek becomes the medium through which the worldly touches the sacred, a forerunner of eternal truths. The Psalms make only one reference to Melchizedek, but it carries deep weight. You are a priest in the order of Melchizedek forever. This line, addressed to the Christ figure, connects the Melchizedek priesthood with eternity. Unlike the Levitical priesthood, which was tied to genealogy and the sacrificial system of the temple, the Melchizedek priesthood is timeless. It is a divine archetype that exists beyond the boundaries of history. The author of the letter to the Hebrews takes up this theme and presents Jesus Christ as the ultimate high priest, not of the Levitical order, but of the Melchizedek order. In this theological framework, Melchizedek becomes a kind of foreshadowing of the eternal priesthood of Christ. His brief appearance in Genesis becomes a cosmic narrative, a bridge between the temporal and the eternal. Beyond the sacred texts, the figure of Melchizedek takes on an even more enigmatic role in mystical and esoteric traditions. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, he appears as a figure of divine judgment that will bring justice and salvation. In Gnostic texts, he appears as a revealer of secret knowledge, a spiritual teacher. In the mystical traditions of Kabbalah, Melchizedek is seen as a figure of profound significance. He represents the unity of the Sephirot, the divine manifestations through which the divine interacts with the finite. As both king and priest, he embodies the balance of power and compassion, justice and mercy. Some traditions even suggest that Melchizedek was not just a man, but a manifestation of the divine. Was he an angel, a celestial being sent to guide humanity? Was he a pre-Christ apparition, as some Christian theologians have suggested? Or, as others have suggested, a mystery that cannot be fully classified and remains to be solved? Salem, the city of peace, invites deeper speculation. Was it an earthly reflection of a divine city seen through a veil of time? The narrative tells us little, but the symbolism runs deep. In Salem, Melchizedek reigns not by power or conquest, but by righteousness and harmony. His kingdom is defined not by walls or borders, but by its harmony with the divine will. In this city, Melchizedek's priesthood reflects the sacred order of creation. The offering of bread and wine is a reminder that body and soul are intertwined threads of a single fabric, symbolizing the fact that the material and the spiritual are not separate realms, but one. Salem becomes more than a city. It becomes a vision within the reach of humanity, a harmonious coexistence under righteousness. Imagine, for a moment, a hidden chronicle, a narrative passed down through the ages, guarded by mystics and sages who sought to preserve the memory of Melchizedek. This chronicle might speak of his origins, shrouded in celestial mystery, a being who walked between worlds, neither bound by time or confined by space. It might tell of his encounters with humanity, moments when he appeared to guide, to bless, to remind us of the eternal truths we so often forget. In one such tale, Melchizedek stands at the edge of a great desert, where weary travelers seek refuge. He speaks not of doctrines or laws, but of the harmony that underlies all creation. His voice carries the cadence of eternity, resonating with those who are willing to listen. You are more than flesh and bone, he says. You are sparks of the divine, threads in the fabric of the infinite. Do not seek to conquer the world. Seek to understand it, to live in harmony with its rhythms. In another tale, he appears in the dreams of a shepherd, revealing visions of a city bathed in golden light, where peace reigns eternal. This is Salem, he says, not a place to be found, but a state of being to be realized. When you live in righteousness, when your heart aligns with the divine will, you dwell in Salem, no matter where your feet may tread.